And then I go to Kansas City, and obviously our best players then was Pat and Travis Kelce. And so, like, you take the personality of those guys, and now it's like you really having fun with it. Yeah. Like, you going out
there.
Because they're
young at the time, too.
Yeah, they're young at the time, but they're out there balling, best of their position, and just having fun, carefree ball. So it's just like, we had a saying in Kansas City, like, go out there and let your personality show. So on those KC teams, it was more like, it's almost like you go out there and you're really an entertainer. Like, let me go entertain. Like, this is what I do. Let's put on a show for the fans. So those are kind of the dynamics between the three teams and the three locker rooms.
So in those locker rooms, obviously, you have, like you said, you had different leaders. With everybody that you play for, who is the most talented in all aspects, whether it be on the offensive side or defensive side? Who stands out of every locker room to you?
I played 7 seasons with Tyrann Mathieu, and he's probably the best teammate. Like, I would say Honey Badger, I would say Cam Newton's probably my favorite. I said Cam Newton. Cam Jordan.
Sorry, Cam. We just messing your name up today, bro. It's nothing like that. There's so many Cams out here. We got 2 Cams here.
I should know that. I played with him for 2 seasons. Yeah. But I'd say Cam Jordan's probably my favorite teammate, but Tyrann Mathieu is probably the best, football player I ever played with.
I followed him, man, when he went, man, he came to Texas. I was like, man,
Bro, that dude is unreal. Like, I mean, everybody knows Tyrann's story. He's not the biggest dude, but he encapsulates, like, that mentality of having it in here. Like, I've never seen a dude, like, just have it in here, and it exudes. Like, he just exudes confidence and playmaking ability, and he didn't let anything stop him. So, yeah.
So on the flip side, who was the most underrated player that you played with? Didn't get the media days and all that like he should have.
Underrated player that I played with. So, I mean, I'm a defensive guy, so I'm gonna stick with defensive guys.
Stick with what you know.
Yep, absolutely. I will say most underrated guys I played. I got 2 guys. One with New Orleans, it was Demario Davis.
Okay.
And when I played with him, he was older than me when I played by a couple seasons, I think of 1 or 2 years, but he was just hitting his prime when he came to New Orleans, and I kind of got to see that upward trajectory. Nice. And now he's all pro every single year. And even though he's getting these accolades, he's not a household name.
Right.
Like, not too many people are going to know who Demario Davis is, but he's for damn sure a top 5 linebacker in this league, and probably my most underrated teammate. Outside of that, I'll move on to the Chiefs. I would say the guy that played opposite me at defensive end, I say Frank Clark. And the reason why I say he's one of the most underrated guys that I played with, the talent is there, and everybody knows the talent is there, but I don't think people realize, like, how his mentality affected a defense. Like, the mentality that he comes to play with each and every single day motivates everybody that he's around. Yeah. And he really gets the most out of the guys that play with him because of that mentality.
Yeah, that's dope. It's always good to have those guys that are just quiet under the radar. They don't let lights and all that stuff get to them. It's just like, yo, we're here to handle business. I'm going to show y'all what business is like. That's dope. Yeah. Couple of numbers for you, 80, 57, and 97. These are jersey numbers that you've had throughout your career. What is it about those numbers does it mean to an athlete, and how did it feel changing numbers? Did you have any kind of like superstitious issues with those numbers being changed?
No, jersey numbers get a little personal for guys. For me, I guess my story was when I first started playing ball, 7th grade, I was, like I told you, tall and skinny. Right. I was a tight end. Tight end was my first position. That's why I was number 80. And I just kind of took 80 with me all the way up through college. Whether I was offense or defensive side of the ball, I was going to be number 80 because that was my first jersey number ever. Yeah. So 80 took me all the way through college. Then you get to the pros, and the number situation is a little bit more strict. Like, 80 is just reserved for tight ends and receivers. So it's like, damn, I can't get 80 no more. So when I got drafted by the Cardinals, they drafted me as an outside linebacker. So my numbers had to be either in the 40s, 50s, or 90s. Those like the 3 options. So initially they showed me like what options I had. I said, okay, let me get 55. Nice round, even number. Not even, but